Hi, I'm Ken with Second Skin. I'm here with Ray from
R&M Classic Auto Works.
R&M Classic Auto Works.
Yep. We're going to spray a car today. It's a 69 GTO, crystal turquoise car, all original, numbers matching car. A lot of the customers will come on in here and look at it. A lot of my customers pay a lot of money to have cars done. They have a lot of different wants and a lot of different needs when I'm redoing a car. Most of these cars, when they were made, never had any insulation properties to speak of. They were more or less muscle cars. They were throwaway cars, to be honest with you. They're a $3,000 car, $4,000 car in their time. They were never meant to last near as long as they are, and they're never meant to have the stuff done to them that we're doing to them. But technology and things happen. So this car's been painted. It's been on the rotisserie. All the body work's been done. It's in clear coat, and it's all masked off and ready. We're going to be spraying sound deadening material in here today. The Spectrum. It's over here. I just used a regular undercoat gun. That's it. I like it because it has an adjustable nozzle. You'll see me on the video. I'm going to be changing it from one spray pattern to the next spray pattern in the trunk. I want it a little bit finer in the trunk than I do in the underneath the carpet. Back to the customers. I try to give them what they want. So I've experimented with products. I like this product because of the price. I like this product because of what it does and the way it sprays out, the way it flows, and it just gives me a nice finished look when it's done, which you'll see at the end of the video. As I said, pan over to the car. I've taken everything is masked with plastic. All the tail light holes, the rear emblem holes, everything's been masked off and covered. This stuff does not have a lot of overspray, however, it does have overspray. And you have an expensive paint job on a car, you want to obviously keep it off there. So keep it as clean as you can and keep everything taped up. Whatever you think is going to get dirty, tape it up. Just don't even think about it. Just spend the extra time. It took me probably 2 hours to do all this. It takes me more time to mask it off than it actually does to paint it. If you come over here inside, all the bolt holes have been covered up with tape. These are the seat mounting bolts coming up in the floor from the factory. I tape all those up. When I spray the material, I don't have to worry about any of the threads getting messed up so that I have a problem later on when I'm putting the car back together. So everything's been done and we're ready to go. Give me a minute. I need to tape up one more hole there and mix up some stuff. Excuse me. We're back. I'm just going to start. You guys can watch. I've got these cans sealed up pretty good. We've got to cut them. By the way, no animals were harmed during this experiment.
You were telling me, Ray, you didn't have to run the fan. The stuff is non-toxic.
It's non-toxic. It cleans up with water. When I'm all done, I just go out to the hose there and clean out my gun and put it away and wait for the next time. The fan in here is pretty loud. Plus, I don't need to run it. There's no overspray. You'll see when I'm on the video, taping it. It's not going to be anything, dust in the air or any of that stuff. So you can spray it outside in your garage. You can spray it anywhere. I just happen to have a paint booth here that I like to be in because it's really nice and bright. So it's pretty much, come look at it. I don't know, I guess it's I don't know, what would you call that?
Like honey.
Looks like honey. It doesn't look like honey. I mean, it acts like honey, but it doesn't look like honey. But yeah.
Consistency.
It's consistency-wise like that. I'm going to go get something to pick up and glob this stuff in here right off the bat, and then I can pour it into the jar. Try not to get too messy. I'll be right back. Thing up and go show you a couple different spray patterns on the wall over there. I just do this to get it started, and then I can pour it into the can. Some of you say this stuff, when it's all done, might look like bed liner or something like that. It doesn't have the consistency of bed liner. It doesn't stay as hard as bed liner. When you spray the bed liner material, anybody that's ever done a bed liner or anything like that, once it sprays out, it hardens up, and it just, this stuff doesn't get that hard. It stays more like, I don't know, it actually kind of acts like rubber, if you will. So when it's all done, you go hit on the car over here. You can hit the trunk. Well, I'll just hit it here. It kind of has a, when I'm done with this and it's all done, dry, you do the same thing and it'll just be a thump. There won't be no reverberation. There won't be anything. That's why what I'm going to do is you'll see before I spray it. Excuse me, compressor. See if you can get over here. You can see the fender well. That's the inner fender well of the car. Up in there is this is the inside of the rear quarter panel. I'm going to spray all the way up in there, all the way down here, through the whole trunk floor. Come on over here. I'm also going to start at the firewall, which has been all masked off. I'm going to spray it all the way back there, do the whole inside. That hole right in there is the inside where the rear quarter glass goes. I'm going to spray it on the inside of that panel. That way everything that slaps off the tires, most of these cars have vibration noises. They come from, it's a full frame car. They're on rubber body mounts. It isolates it a little bit. But you've all heard it when you're driving down the road in an old car or any car, you hear a tire slapping the cracks on the concrete, something like that. It has a tendency to reverberate through the frame going to the body. This stuff virtually eliminates that. You're still going to hear the tire slapping, but you're not going to feel it in vibration in the car, if you will. I have one car, a 72 GTO of my own, that has really wide tires on it and a big bad motor. It's my father's and mine, and then we have a 69 Grand Prix. The Grand Prix was just recently done. We did this entire thing. We didn't know about second skin when we did the GTO 10 years ago. You drive two cars and it's two totally different cars. One is loud and fast and annoying, and the other one is, this thing feels like a Cadillac type of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and start spraying. He's just going to video. You can just watch what I do. Again, the reason we're doing this is to keep it quiet and to give you a better ride. After you spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a restoration, it's really nice to get into the car and actually be able to listen to your girlfriend or wife, or I don't know, when you're done spending $30,000 or $40,000, you don't know if you'll still have a wife, but hey, if you listen to somebody, you'll be able to hear them. So. This is just a bed liner gun. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. I have a regulator on the bottom. I also have a regulator on the wall. I run it at 80 pounds pressure out of the tip, or off the gauges anyway. You can see a couple of spray patterns here. These are dry. I'm going to be adjusting my spray pattern on the wall for a little bit, and then I'm going to start shooting the interior of the car. You can see if I turn this nozzle in, come over here and look at this. This stuff, basically, we're going to look at the gray dot. That right there is a little fine, and then if you turn the nozzle out, it just adds, I don't know what it does inside the gun, but it's not my job. It gets you a little bit bigger. It's held about the same distance, but that looks a little rougher than what that does. This side will be in the trunk, this side will be in the car. The rest of the car pretty much done. Took a break, got in here, did the trunk. I didn't take a break, the cameraman took a break. Anyway, I changed the volume or the nozzle, and we're back into the trunk now so you can see a little bit different. I think that I seem to tend to possibly speed up a little bit more too, and hold the gun possibly a little bit closer. It's all experimental. I mean, buy some stuff and then get a big piece of something, cardboard wall, something like that. Try different techniques of spraying, whether you go fast or slow, hold it 10 inches, 12 inches, 6 inches. It all depends on these guns, what you're comfortable with and what you want the end result to look like. But you can definitely tell that it's not as coarse of texture in the trunk right now as it is in the car. When I get done with it, it'll get you some good shots so that you can see the difference. I moved from the interior of the car. I did the package tray shelf inside and out. We got doing the inner fender wells, or now the outside of the outside of them in the trunk area. What I'm going to do is this is going to be a stock looking car. It's going to be a stock car, but it's not a trailer queen by any means. He's going to drive it every day. That's another reason why we're doing this. However, when you open up the trunk, not to beat on my own drum, I did a damn good job painting this car. You open up the trunk, you want it to look as original as possible. So after this dries and cures, well, here's the bat phone. Let me just turn that off. After this cures, we're going to spray some trunk paint that you buy at any AutoZone store, something like that. This particular brand is just a splatter paint that's aqua in color. That's what GTOs had when they came out of the factory. Some guys say they're long, skinny strands. Some guys say they're round little dots. It doesn't really matter as long as it looks good when you're done and looks somewhat original. It's personal preference. I mean, I can go on and on and on about originality. I have several cars here that are original owners that the trunk pattern is completely different from one car to the next, and they're both original cars. So it all depends on personal preference, When this thing's all done, it'll look correct. There'll be a mat in the floor, spare tire. We are going to put an amp in it, which brings me to another deal. This stuff, you know, it causes sound deadness. It causes, you know, the vibrations in the car, the harmonics, that type of thing. You put big stereo in this car, this guy isn't going to do that. He's going to have 6x9s. We're going to have some front speakers up in the kick panels. We're going to have a good amp, good radio. He turns it up, it's going to sound good. It's not going to vibrate. It's going to do what it needs to do. So,